everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace today using some of the beads that were in the GGC Treasures bag and some beads from my stash. I've got some fire polish beads here. I think they're about 8mm. They're like light gray on one side and a darker gray on the other side. I've got some of the twist beads that were in the treasure bag. I've got some more of the twist beads over here because this is going to be my pendant part. I've got a toggle from my stash. I'm going to do the toggle in the front. I've got a ball head pin and some eye pins, some jump rings, some of the little rice beads that were in the treasure bag. And then I've got the chain that was in the treasure bag. I've got some links of 22 gauge German style wire here that I'm going to use to make some wire wrapped links. This is what I use. It's Beadle-On 22 gauge. It's an awful big spool for somebody who used to swear they never were going to do anything with wire because I was intimidated by it. And I don't do anything intricate with it now, but I tend to use a lot of it. I've got my beading awl. I always have it next to me. I have my little shot glass, my little New Orleans shot glass to put my little pieces of wire in when I cut them off. I've got my tweezer pliers, from Xuron tweezer pliers, Xuron cutters. I've got my chain nose pliers and my round nose pliers. I don't know where I got the chain nose pliers. The round nose pliers are from BB Craft. I've got both pair of my bent nose pliers. These I got from BB Craft, and these are Xuron. No, wait, those are my crimpers. These are my crimping pliers from Beadle-On. These are my bent nose pliers from BB Craft, and these are my bent nose pliers from Xuron. And then I've got a pair of wire straighteners here that have seen better days. I think that's everything. Let me get some of this moved out of the way and I'll be back. I'm going to start with my pendant portion here. I've tried to move my lights around. The last video I did kind of looked dark to me, so I hope this helps. I'm going to start with the pendant portion. I'm going to have the toggle in the front, and I'm going to hang some little dangles from the toggle. I've already made this. This is one of the twist beads from the bag that I did a little wrapped loop at the top, and one of the little rice beads that I just did a simple loop at the top. I'm going to hang it from the toggle, and then I'm going to make another section that's going to hang just a little bit lower than that. So I'm going to take my ball head pin, and I'm going to put my twist bead on, and I'm going to take my tweezer pliers. I'm going to go to the end of the pliers and bend the wire over the tool. Take my round nose pliers, put it in the crook of the bend there. I'm going to turn the wire back until it hits the bead. The round nose pliers are facing me. Now I'm going to rotate the round nose pliers till they're facing the table. I'm going to hold on tight, and I'm going to pull this wire back until it can't go any further. It's hitting the tool. It's made a little loop like that. And now I'm going to crook it back a little bit to center the loop over the bead. Now I'm going to take it out. I'm going to take both pairs of my bent nose pliers. Hold the loop really tight. And I'm going to wrap the wire around till I fill up that little space. And I'm going to take my cutters, cut off the extra wire, Well, if I can get a hold of it. And then I'm going to take my crimping pliers and squish in the little burr that I left when I cut off that wire. Now I'm going to take one of my eye pins and one of my little rice beads. I put it on the eye pin. I take my pliers, make my loop in the same direction that the loop on the eye pin is going. I'm going to go just a little bit above the bead so I won't crack my bead. I'm going to make a 90-degree turn. And I'm going to cut off, leaving about maybe a 1/4 an inch of wire there. Hold this part so the wire won't go flying that I cut off. Cut it off. Take my round nose pliers and turn back a loop. And my loops are not straight. So I'm going to take both pairs of my pliers, just straighten them up like that. And that's what I've got there. And I'm going to do that again. Take my eye pin. I don't know how many of these it's going to take to make it hang where I want it to. Go a little bit above the bead. Make a 90-degree turn. Cut off. Around those pliers. Turn back a loop. Now I'm going to connect these two. Close them back up real well. I'm going to connect one of them to my little dangle I made down here. Look and see where we're hanging. That's probably good enough. If I make one more, I'm afraid it'll be too long. See, I'm going to connect these to my toggle and see what it looks like. So I'm going to take a 6mm jump ring. Open it. Thread on my little shorter dangle. Thread it onto my toggle. Oops. Close it up. Make sure it's closed really well. I'm going to take another jump ring. Open it up. Thread my longer dangle on there and my toggle. Okay. Yeah, I think that will work. I don't know though. I think I'll yeah, I think that'll be okay. Okay, now I've got that done. I'm gonna lay this aside for a minute. Let's see, now I'm gonna take my round beads and I'm going to make some wire wrapped links, a little rosary chain like I do sometimes. I've got enough cut off here except for one. I was going to show you when I cut it off the spool. It's helpful to me if the wire is straight when I cut off the spool. So before I cut it off, I take my wire straightener and I just pull it through. Let me zoom out a little bit. Just use my straightener here and I just pull it till it's straight. Well, I bent it worse than it was to begin with. And this is my real technical way of measuring my wire. I've got a little piece of cord here that I know is 3.5 inches long. And I just put it up there and cut it. So now I have all the pieces of wire I'm going to need. So I'm going to take one of my pieces of wire, zoom in a little bit more now for this. I take my pliers, go down probably a little bit more than an inch. Oops. Bend the wire over the pliers. Take my round nose pliers, put them in the crook of the bend. Bend back until I hit the plier, can't go any further. Round nose pliers are facing me. I'm going to rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Bend the wire back. Crook it back a little so it's centered over the wire. The loop is centered over the wire. Take my bent chain nose pliers, hold my loop, wrap my wire probably about 3 times is usually what I do. And I'm going to cut off. I put one of my round fire polish beads on here. Take my pliers, and I've started making my loops in the opposite direction to see if they don't get tangled up so easy. I'm not sure if that's, I've been trying that lately. I'm going to bend the wire over the pliers. Put my round nose pliers in the crook of the bend. Turn my wire, bend my wire back till it hits the bead. Round nose pliers are facing me. Rotate the round nose pliers till they're facing the table. Hold them really good and tight. Pull this loop back till it hits the pliers. Crook it back a little. Take my round nose pliers and hold my loop. Take my other bent nose pliers. If I can get that first wrap done well, it usually works out well. Just wrap until I fill up that space. cut off. Take my crimping pliers, squish in my little burr that I left. Now take another piece of wire, do the same thing, bend it over the pliers, put the round nose pliers in, turn the wire back till they hit the pliers, rotate the pliers, bend the wire back till it hits the tool, can't go any further, crook it back a little. This time I'm going to open my loop just a little bit, thread in the one that I've already made, close the loop back, take my bent nose pliers, hold my loop, wrap it around the base wire about 3 times. Cut off the extra. Put my another fire polish bead on. Take my pliers. Go to the end of the tip of the pliers. 90-degree angle over the tool. Round those pliers in the crook. Bend the wire back till it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers so they're facing the table. Hold real tight. Pull the wire back until it hits the tool. Cock it back a little to center it over the bead. Bent nose pliers. Hold on to the loop really well. Other bent nose pliers. And wrap. Till I fill up the space. Cut off. My tweezer plier, my crimping pliers. Squish in my little burrs. Okay, so I'm going to do that with all the other 3 of my fire polish beads and finish my little chain on this side, and then I'll be back. Okay, I've got my 5 little links made here, and now on this side I'm going to do these 3 twist beads. It's going to be an asymmetrical necklace. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to bend my wire over the tool, put my round nose pliers in, turn the wire back, rotate my pliers, put the wire back over, crook it back a little bit, use my bent chain nose pliers, wrap it around about 3 times, cut off the extra, put my twist bead on, put my pliers at the end of the pliers, do a 90-degree angle, put my round nose pliers in, bend it back till I hit the bead, rotate my pliers, Hold really good and tight. Pull the wire back, cock it back a little, just center it over the bead. Hold it with my chain nose pliers. My bent nose pliers. My other bent nose pliers. And wrap. Until I fill up that space. And cut off the extra. Tuck in with my chain nose or my crimping pliers, the little burr. Take my next one. Bend over the pliers. Round those pliers in the crook. Bend it back. Rotate the pliers. Bring the wire up. Cock it back a little. Open my loop a little. Always open the loop like we do a jump ring this way. Never out this way. Thread on my one I already made. Close my loop back. Bent chain nose pliers. Hold my loop. Wrap the wire around about 3 times. Cut off. Another twist bead on. Go to the end of the pliers. Bend it over. Round those pliers in the crook of the bend. Turn the wire back. Rotate the pliers. Bring the wire around. Cock it back a little. Hold with my bent nose pliers. My other bent nose pliers. Wrap until I fill up the space. Tuck in my ends with my crimping pliers. Now I have one more to go. I was going to tell y'all, I have this Facebook page. I started it a few years ago, and I didn't really know what I was doing when I started it. I still don't. And I noticed last night that a couple of people had posted, and I had not got a notification. Facebook is weird sometimes. It doesn't always send notifications. I hadn't got a notification. There was a lady that had commented on my Facebook page like 4 days ago, and I just got the notification last night. I was just horrified. I thought she thinks I'm just ignoring her and not responding. And of course I answered her, but if you all ever post or comment on my Facebook page, which I encourage you to do, I enjoy that, and I don't get right back to you, it's because I didn't see it or I didn't get a notification. It's definitely not that I'm ever ignoring you. I would never do that. I just don't know a whole lot about that Facebook page. I would love for you all to post on my page if you make anything that that you made from something that I made or whatever. That would really be cool. I'd like to see that. And of course, I really enjoy it when y'all leave me comments under these videos. I'll do this last one and then be just about ready to put it all together. Could I do this last one without droning on about every little detail? Y'all don't need to hear me say every little detail every time I do this. I hope I'm not trembling more than usual right now, but I might be because my husband's freezing me to death. He's got, I mean, he says the heat's on, but I'm really not feeling it very much. I told him I tremble enough doing these videos. I don't need any extra help trembling. Okay, so that's going to be that side. I know they're not the same, but I'm gonna do chain around it. So I'm gonna get everything together to put it together, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm ready to put this all together now. I'm gonna take my chain nose pliers and my bent nose pliers and a 6mm jump ring. I'm gonna connect this side to my toggle ring. Close it up. Now I'm going to take this side I'm going to take a little 4mm jump ring and put it in here. Close it up. Another 6mm jump ring. Put it in the 4mm jump ring and attach my toggle bar to that. Close that up really well. And now I've got about 20 inches of chain here that I'm gonna put around like this to finish it off with me. So I'm gonna take a little 4mm jump ring. Just have a time finding the slit in these. They're so tiny. Thread on my beaded chain here. Yep. Looked up to see if I was in frame and dropped everything. There it is. Okay. Try this again. I take my 4mm jump ring, Put my little beaded chain on it here. Put my chain on here. Try to close it up without dropping it. Okay. Now I'm going to take this little 4mm jump ring. Open it up. Thread on my chain. Thread on this part. Close it up really well. And then put it together like that. And there you go. The reason I put that extra little 4mm jump ring here at the toggle bar, if I don't, when I clasp it, the loop part ends up covering up that bead. So I put a little extra one there to give it a little room so that it won't do that. So there. Let me get everything put up and get this laying out looking a little bit prettier, and I'll be back. Okay, so there we go. There's my little asymmetrical necklace with the toggle in the front and some little dangles hanging down here. I hope you all enjoyed this video. As always, thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate those of you who have subscribed to my channel and who watch the videos I've made and left me comments. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook and Instagram and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.